Hello, human being, human, mortal, person, soul, Homo sapien, earthling, higher animal, living person. Welcome to part 2. In case you're inept, enjoy this greatest hits audio reel from part 1.
I'm doing good, Mikey. Actually, I should say I'm,
Very nice.
Dude, would you mind introducing the artist we are reviewing for this episode?
I'd love to. But more importantly, they had an idea, a theory, a philosophy, and synthesizers. That band is Tears for Fears.
What?
I told you I had a hard time with this intro. You gotta admire a group of guys who draw from an unending pool of ambition.
Maybe.
There. So the album we'll be discussing today is by Duran Duran, and it's called Thank You.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Hey, Jason. Tell me you have Tears for Fears drops.
It's all I've got. Baby.
Okay.
You didn't even hear it. Don't say well done.
I was listening.
No, you weren't.
It was an amalgamation of... Come on. You have no Duran Duran?
I've got some. I've been playing some.
And Toby Obito, 6 years ago, says, this song's about cocaine, right?
Free base.
And now, enjoy number 2. Next up is Lay. Lady. Lay.
My all-time worst Bob Dylan song.
Hey there. If you want to listen to this clip, you're gonna have to go download the album. If you dare. It's pretty shitty. Hence the purpose of this podcast. Anyway, back to the show.
Originally by
Sorry.
Bob.
Are you not having...
Fun, baby.
Who was that?
That's Melly Mel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All my
Get
Duran.
high, baby.
So all of my drops from Duran are actually Melly Mel saying
great.
Higher, baby.
it is. So anyway, sorry.
My tongue go brrr. My dick go. Yeah, there he is. See, we're a duet. We're a team. Originally by Bob Dylan from his 1969 album Nashville Skyline, featuring Paul McCartney drummer Abe Laboriel Jr. A few years before he would land that Paul gig.
Wow.
So this is one of Abe's first session gigs.
That's the closest thing to a Beatle drop I had.
Don't. What are you doing? Oh, stop it.
Come on.
Gosh.
Free base.
Hey, that was some quick little chops.
That was so good.
On the fly. Okay.
On the fly. The track has been covered by numerous artists over the years.
Yeah.
So, the Byrds recorded a version in 1969 as well. Industrial metal band Ministry did a version at a concert.
Are you serious?
In 1994 with Eddie Vedder performing backing vocals.
Don't do it.
That sounds awful.
They would eventually... I love anything Eddie does, though.
Of course, but that can't be good.
He even did that ukulele album that I loved.
He made a ukulele album?
Eddie Vedder. He did the soundtrack for Into the Wild, I think it's called.
Oh, okay.
Remember Buddy, who is like, I'm going to go in the middle of nowhere and starve myself? Mm-hmm. That guy, poor bastard. Mm-hmm. And Eddie did the soundtrack, and then he did the ukulele thing. They would eventually do a studio version on their 1996 album called Filth Pig.
Don't buy it.
Damn.
I'm sorry.
Damn.
I'm sorry, guys.
That was impressive, though.
Thanks.
Other artists that have covered this track are Cher, Sandy Shaw,
Okay.
the Isley Brothers,
Leopard.
the Everly Brothers,
The Leopard?
the Buddy Guy Brothers, the Bryan Adams Brothers, and the Lori Morgan Brothers, to name a few.
Not Rick Ross Brothers?
The Rick Ross Brothers.
Or the-
Duran Duran released the song as a single in Italy to promote the album, although Perfect Day was released for the rest of the world.
All right.
I didn't care for it. It's actually one of Dylan's weaker tracks,
Yep.
in my opinion, but everyone seems to cover it. I don't like the song.
I hate this song.
Yeah, I don't know why everybody seems to cover Lay Lady Lay from Bob Dylan.
Are you okay?
Oh, so YouTube. Oh, you didn't. We're good, right? You didn't dig it.
I know. I think if I had to choose between that one and the Dylan one, I would choose this one.
Eat a pen.
Come on. I hate that Dylan version. I hate it. I hate what he's doing with his voice.
It doesn't sound like him, eh?
Yeah, it never did. And I always...
How's it going, eh? Jeez, I sound like so Canadian.
Don't hide it, Mikey. Don't hide it. Come on.
How's she going, eh? You hoser. Absolutely, eh? What's that all about? What did he do with his voice?
Very nice.
I don't like the song anyway.
No, I don't.
But I didn't like this version.
I'll take this version.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Disagree. Love, Peace, and Happiness 1 year ago says, my baby just sent me this link to listen to. He loves me.
I got nothing.
You see how I leave you like a little bit of space so that you can just kill the drop game.
I know.
And you shite the bed. Zuzana Zukavakova 2 years ago says, with first lines, I thought James Hetfield was singing this song. Only later on, I recognized Simon's voice. You're growing. It's good to see you're learning.
I was really hoping everyone would just hear the clicks as I'm just scrolling through looking. Come on, James. I've got no.
Lay across my big brass bed.
I almost thought that this was my James Hetfield ooh, but I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be.
Okay.
Can you imagine if I hit that thinking I was going to hit a ooh, yeah.
Why is this commenter think that the first lines of the song made him think of James Hetfield from Metallica?
Too much
Sugar.
I don't know.
Celestial Woodway 6 years ago.
I'm gonna get this one. Go.
Celestial Woodway 6 years ago says, nope.
Oh, you wasting my time.
No. Tears for Fears.
I'll give it to you. So, are you ready?
Yes.
911 is a joke.
Oh, do we have to play this?
I'm going to take a sip. Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. 47% alcohol? Are you out of your fucking mind?
What are you talking about? Is it
Sammy
done?
went and got me an ice cube.
Did I make it in time?
You did make it in time.
All right.
Originally by Public Enemy, taken from their 1990 album, Fear of a Black Planet.
Hit me.
The song is about the lack of response to emergency calls in black neighborhoods, something the white English band would have had first-hand experience with. The 911 title of the song refers to the emergency telephone number used in North America, also something the English band would obviously be familiar with.
Oh, man.
Do you know what the UK version is of 911?
No.
It is 999. I thought this was incredible. A massive improvement on the original. This has quickly become one of my all-time favorite, not just Duran Duran,
Songs.
but anybody's
song.
Artists really need to pause, take a breath, experience this 3 minutes and 59-second masterpiece, eat a cookie, smoke a joint, go back to bed, and start their lives over.
Hit me.
Okay, but seriously, go. I'm going to let you have the floor for 911 as a joke.
I don't even know where to start on this. Wow. Wow. To take a song written by a militant black rap group dealing with systemic racism, you know, it's in America, like what in the world made these like rich British pop stars think that this was a good idea? And the only thing, like, I think somebody told them that Beck gets like a rap pass. So they just figured that as long as they made it sound like a Beck song, then he was allowed to rap. Like, there's so many things about this song that are just so wrong. Why you would even try? That's my thing. Like, Simon, why are you even trying this? Like, it's so obviously dumb.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so obviously dumb. There's nobody there to say, like, guys,
This is the purpose of the podcast.
this is so
It
dumb.
had to go through a lot of levels
yeah.
in order to make it to our ears and the shelves. the critics, everybody. Like it went through everybody.
Yeah.
Just went through everybody.
It's just so bad. Like it's so embarrassing. Like it's just bad. It's bad. Bad. Shouldn't have happened. What do you think?
Okay, so you didn't like it?
Oh man, can I just play more Tears for Fears? Is that okay? Like Tears for Fears didn't do this.
I thought it was atrocious.
Throw it away.
Just throw it away, guys.
Oh, wow. A guy who can sing. Ricardo Cantoral, 7 months ago, says, "Excuse me, I need to regurgitate everything I've ever eaten."
So great. That's
Lamal Keja.
That's a great comment.
2 years ago says, the blokes missed the mark with this album.
Yes.
Search and destroy all physical and digital copies.
Yeah. That you know what? That doesn't get a yeah. That gets a
Yeah.
that gets a yeah. Yeah.
LXK 8 months ago says, Duran Duran is a joke.
Yeah.
A mock Top Gun 7 months ago says, it's 2019 and still too soon.
Simon doesn't understand why.
I went crazy with the YouTube comments. Sweaty Beast. 11 years ago. 11 years ago says,
Let's hear it.
were these dickheads serious?
Right? Right?
Stuggy Pren 1 year ago says, not as good as Public Enemy's version of Rio.
I love it. I love it. I was going to read that one to you. I know you told me I'm not allowed to read comments.
You read YouTube comments?
I know you told me that.
You son of a bee.
That's the greatest line, though. So what happened was I was just
trampling all over my dick.
That was from a live version.
Yes.
And I didn't think you were looking at live versions.
I have to look at them all. I have to look at them all.
I'm sorry. I won't look at that. I died laughing. That's why you're not getting that reaction from me right now. I died laughing at that
I was
one.
crying.
Isn't
that amazing, though?
Not as good as Public
That I
Enemy's
caught it?
version of Rio.
I caught it.
You're the best,
Dude,
Mikey.
we're the same. Stuart
You're the best.
McConaughey.
Hold on.
You're the best.
Yeah, you need to hear it. That was great. You're a pro.
Stuart McConaughey, 11 years ago, says, see, kids, this is why you don't do drugs.
You got too far this time.
Oh, fuck, yes. Oh, my gosh, dude.
Oh man,
You were destroying.
I did get some. A little some.
Bestie 2222.
More.
Great version, much better than the lame original.
No.
And finally,
Give to me.
Eldo 5001 1 year ago says, oh man, fuck this shit.
Oh, that's great.
We need to move on.
Please.
Oh my gosh. Success is the next track.
This was my original plan. I had no idea what we were going to do with Duran Duran.
Wow.
And I was like,
Shooting blanks, huh?
yeah, so I was like, you know what? Every song, I'm just going to go over it and just keep doing this until everybody understands how much better Tears for Fears was. Like, I want everybody to agree with me on this.
Great song. Originally, but Success.
Yeah,
Not
I'm sorry.
not
Let's get
everybody
back.
wants to relate.
Let's get back.
Success was originally by Iggy Pop in 1977.
Iggy Pop. Amen.
You got it! Nice job, man. We love you and miss you, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Always.
Written by David Bowie and Ricky Gardner.
Yeah.
I'll give this the same review as I did Raw Power from the Spaghetti Incident. You're just not going to top Iggy Pop.
That's right.
Sorry. Next!
Yep. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing in your notes?
What do I have? I have literally nothing in my notes.
So I had to do the same thing as the previous song and
Okay.
no YouTube comments on this.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to guess from the top 10 of the Billboard charts
Let's
what
do this.
song I pulled these from. Mm-hmm. Portia Purse, 6 years ago, says, I was conceived to this song. Not sure why they would know that.
I
Song comes on the radio and you're like, hey, guys in the back seat,
yeah.
I nailed your mom to this song.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah. You used to live in my balls.
Don't do it.
202 Bob, 1 year ago.
Yeah.
Flippin' heck.
Very
Who
good.
made this beat? Lord have mercy. Takes me down memory lane every time. 2018, still bumping.
It's just a
Why is Mutt Lang here?
it's just a leopard snare.
Oh, Sharon Bradley, 7 months ago, says, I need husband who loves me, take me away my shame and neediness. Love always, love away all my hurts and pain. Let me live and blossom.
This isn't helping me. The problem is I don't. Oh, Unbended Knee? No, I have no idea. I can't remember the songs that were in the top 10.
That was so good, though. Oh, wait, I got it.
But I got it though, right?
TLC Creep. Those were the comments for TLC.
Wait a minute, they're conceived to creep. That did not help, Mikey. That did not help.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're the worst for that.
Up next is Crystal Ship.
Oh man.
For the record, that wasn't what I sound like when I don't snore. Written by Jim Morrison. This was originally done by whatever band that guy was in.
The Doors. Jim Morrison? He's a drunken buffoon.
Posing as a poet. Give me the Guess Who. They've got the courage to be drunken buffoons, which makes them poetic.
Nice. So, for the record, I love the Doors.
Oh, for real? I've never gone down a Doors rabbit hole.
I
I'm
did-
waiting for it to happen, though.
No, so I did back in the day.
Okay, I'm waiting for the Grateful Dead to happen to me.
Okay.
And I'm waiting for the Doors to happen
So
to
I
me.
went down a Grateful Doors thing.
Okay.
It didn't make me a rabid fan, but
Okay.
I definitely appreciate.
Respect.
I
Respect.
respect them. But the Doors, I love.
For Morrison as well.
All of them.
Yeah.
All of them, man.
Okay,
They're
okay.
geniuses, and I love.
Geniuses, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the Crystal Ship, I love the Crystal Ship.
So the drunken buffoon comment from Almost Famous, you're not...
No,
Wow.
I think it's a funny line, but
It's a great line,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
the Doors, like
Awesome, dude.
And Crystal Ship is one of those tunes that I love. Like,
Yeah.
I love it. It has this like creepiness and weirdness.
It's
to
from
it.
their first album, their debut album in 1967.
Yeah, and this is one of those ones we talked about it before about rock not respecting drummers. Like, this is one of those ones where John Densmore is like hard left.
Yeah.
It's just weird, like the way it's mixed, but it's,
I think it's right.
Like, it works.
Right. When we talk about that, there's like limited by technology.
Yeah, and there's that
So,
because
yeah.
they've bounced. They're working with
bouncing
like
down stuff.
4 to 8 tracks,
Yeah,
and they're just
yeah.
bouncing it. And
Wasn't
saying,
Sgt. Pepper on like a 4-track or
and
something?
that's part of the genius of it, but because
Yeah,
they had to
yeah.
make decisions and stick to them. Like,
Yeah.
you are John Densmore, you're always going to be in that left channel, buddy.
know,
Sorry,
I
are you
know.
sure? Like, is this what we want to do?
This was the B-side to the hit single "Light My Fire."
Yeah.
I didn't care for the song so much.
No.
Yeah. I've never been a huge Doors fan, but
Oh man, I love this tune.
maybe I should really try. Like, I don't know what mood I have to be in to really start trying to go down a Doors rabbit hole.
That's actually
it
that's a great point.
hasn't happened yet.
So to get back to Duran, this was a good choice in the sense of it's a very croony song. And
Oh, okay.
Simon Le Bon has that
Yeah,
kind of
that's
croony
true.
voice.
Yeah,
So that it wasn't like totally like, wrong-headed of them to try it.
Okay.
But again, super drenched in vibe,
Yeah.
this original. Like,
Yes.
it's just such a vibe. And I feel like if you're not ready to commit to putting all the drums in one side, in one channel, like, you're not going to hit this vibe.
do it.
You're really not. Like, they made all the right decisions when they wrote and recorded and mixed this tune. Like, the original is so weird, and but it's perfect. It's perfection.
Tom Morissette 5 months ago says, "I like this rendition, but nothing touches the Lizard King." Makessa King 8 years ago says, "I like tequila." What? Why?
I don't know. For no reason. Hey, just be
Melly Mananusa.
just be- yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Just be what? What should I be? Tell me.
I was gonna say
Tell me how to live my life, Sam.
just be happy. It's not.
I don't mind that though.
Okay.
Melanie Manusa 10 years ago says, I don't like it. And the Lizard King 1967,
Whoa.
11 years ago,
Whoa.
says, this is what happens when an 80s band runs out of teeny bopper song material. Jim would be rolling over in his grave if he heard this version. LOL.
LOL.
What LOL? And it's in capital LOL.
That was the zombie of Jim
That's the
Morrison.
sound I make when I stub my toe in the middle of the night.
What's next?
Confusion is next. Do you feel like playing
I
it?
really, really don't.
But we have to.
Did we play the song? You guys didn't want to hear that.
No, written by Norman Whitfield and Barrett Strong.
Classic.
This was a hit single in 1970 for
Amazing.
The Temptations.
Again, why are these dudes thinking that a topical song about social injustice and
That's why we're here.
all this?
That's why we're here.
What were you thinking? What in 1995 made Simon Le Bon say, I need to speak on this?
So, and I feel like our closing comments are going to be redundant. But
yeah, I know.
Go to YouTube. Phoenix Healing 5 months ago.
Wow.
Says, every time I see a U-Haul, this song pops into my head.
What? What did I just miss?
I don't know.
Okay.
Treff Sock 2 years ago says, well, there's no way a bunch of English white boys could ever have as much soul as the Temps. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, let's move on. This is the title cut from the album. It's called Thank You.
It's coming.
So,
Yeah.
I couldn't find much information on this song anywhere. I checked all the internets and came up empty. Did they write this? Was this an original they decided to sneak onto a covers album? There have been several other cover versions of this, but I'm assuming Duran Duran original. Tori Amos.
What are we talking about
The
right
Flaming Lips. Great White, Tesla, Rick Ross, and Chris Cornell did a live version on his record Songbook, which I saw him on that tour, and it was perfection. They also did a version for the With Honors soundtrack. You ever see that soundtrack? Joe Pesci?
No.
Brendan Fraser?
No.
Moira Kelly? No, just me. Okay. I have no comment.
What are you talking
Blasphemy?
about? Can I ask you what?
Blasphemy, I say!
Yeah. It's just a bad idea. It's a bad idea. You're not going to beat Zeppelin. You're never going to beat
That's
Zeppelin.
who it is. 3X Colosso 3 years ago says, I respect that Duran Duran is trying to provide an homage to Zeppelin, but we all know no one should attempt to cover Zeppelin. It's not impossible, IMO.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Sky fell left and 9 months ago. 9 months ago, dude. Says, playing this for the wife during the pole shift. Jupiter Moon Gauge 7 months ago. 7 months ago says Simon Le Bon couldn't sing his way out of a paper bag.
Oh, man. That's mean. That's just mean. What are you doing?
We're almost done.
What do you think about Simon Le Bon as a singer?
Nope. Next, we can get into it.
All right.
Next song is called Drive By.
Oh, Mikey. This is why we don't let Mikey, touch the controls. Because every drop would be a fart.
How shallow am I? How shallow would fart noises still make me laugh?
The whole thing would just be that.
Oh my gosh. This is actually an original by the band. Evidently, it's a sequel to a song from 1982's Rio called The Chauffeur. Or The Chauffeur, if you're an asshole. Which I A-B'd, and it's just weird and bizarre. But everyone is defending it on YouTube as genius, so I'm clearly missing the point.
Okay. I don't know. I wouldn't.
Your notes say, I don't know?
Well, okay, hold on. Let me check my notes. I forgot I had notes.
What have you been doing?
My notes don't make any sense, so don't worry about it.
Come on.
Yeah. I don't know what I was on about when I wrote this, so I'm just going to say I have
More
no...
importantly, what were you on when you did that? Okay, so we can go to YouTube.
I tried every which way to like this band. Okay. I want Nick Rhodes to know that in particular.
Sure.
I want Nick, if you're listening, Nick, I tried really hard, man. I tried really hard because I respect Nick Rhodes. Yeah. And I have a whole defense of Nick Rhodes, but we'll do that later. Keep going.
So I'm going to do the next 3 YouTube comments in Nick Rhodes' accent. This is just coming to me. Because I was watching like endless documentaries and behind the music and stuff. And okay, let me think. How did he do it? Because he's different than... So it's more like, David Deacon 2 months ago. I call this one the coolest song ever.
I'm high as hell.
All right, David.
Brian Mower 2 years ago. To the 5 thumbs down, may your groins become infested with wood lice and your eyelashes fall out.
Ooh, yeah.
Why Jim Brewer doing James?
I don't know. That's great.
Okay. So bear with me. This is a long Nick Rhodes impression for this
Love
one.
it. Let's do it.
Sergio Manowar 2 years ago says, once I've fallen asleep listening to this song, then realize it's a song about a guy falling asleep, maybe while sleeping, listening to the lyrics, and then remains in my brain for so many years. Then suddenly, for no reason, a total recall makes me Google it for Duran Duran falling asleep while driving, and I found this. And that's why I'm here. It's like feeding an old brain's appetite. So pleasant.
Put him up, put him up, put him up!
That was great.
That was great.
Good for you. I like that. I like your
Is it?
impression.
I don't know. We'd have to A-B it. But
Yeah, that was great, though.
I remember it catching me.
I enjoyed it.
I want to take you higher again. Is our final cut?
Higher, baby.
That was just to get me there.
Melly Mel.
I think if they would have done a whole album of originals with that kind of approach, it would have
911 is a joke.
made more sense
No, different songs.
for Duran Duran.
Another crack at that Sly and Family Stone thing. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Okay, but they're sort of known for like remixes. Duran Duran.
So I think
Taking a song and like releasing different versions and different approaches. They're kind of known for that.
so. This was I found this comment from the review in Spin Magazine of this album.
Okay.
And this guy said, it takes 2 mixes of I Want to Take You Higher to come up with a watered down version of U2's Mysterious Ways.
I read that.
That's halfway listenable.
Yep, I read that.
And I think that's spot on.
Yeah.
Like the guy nailed it. And it made me think like if you took...
Achtung is 91? 92?
Yeah, no, something like that. So I know.
Oh,
I
really?
should know. I'm
Favorite
sorry.
album
I'm so
ever.
sorry. Favorite album ever. I know. So anyway, if there was a band to do that approach, if you looked at it again on paper, leaving the 80s into the 90s, and you were like, so U2 or Duran Duran is going to do a song that sounds like this, which one's it going to be?
Sure.
Everybody unequivocally would be like, obviously Duran Duran's the one who's going to do that.
Yeah.
So the fact that U2 beat him to it must have just been horrible for them.
U2 beat him to it, and it was their versions, or Octane Baby was not inspired by Duran Duran.
Oh no!
You know
Of
what I
course
mean?
not.
So-
Yeah. But it's just the fact that U2 was able to make a song that songs that sounded kind of cool with those influences and elements, and they'd made something that sounded nothing like it, right? But it sounded great, and so which is the way all songwriting,
Sure.
or a lot of songwriting ends up being is you're trying to hit something, you miss, but it becomes you, and therefore it's cool.
Okay.
That's the coolness of Octoon Baby. This song, I think, sounds good. Like,
We haven't talked much about the production.
yeah, like the production is.
I don't think the record sounds terrible.
No, it sounds good.
Yeah.
And
like I said, some of the drumming and the bass tones, I didn't mind at all.
And I just feel like, in terms of a vibe, they should have, when they hit upon this, they should have said, "Hey guys, we can do this kind of production. We can do this kind of writing.
Yeah.
Why don't we just do an original album of things that
Right.
sound like this?"
Right.
And then it would have been like a fresh.
Well, self-titled was on its way, or what people call it, the wedding album.
The wedding album was before this.
I know, but it was
Yeah.
on its way.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I mean, the wedding album had some great moments.
Sure.
Obviously,
Sure.
like
Ordinary World.
Ordinary World.
Yeah.
Classic. Like
Yeah,
that song's
great
amazing.
song,
Yeah. But in terms of like them saying like, yeah, we want to update our danceability, this would have been a better approach.
Yeah, it really is just a poor song selection.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know if any of them should have, like, they should have started from scratch as far as song selection is concerned.
So song selection, okay, that's funny you say that. I actually thought song selection, in terms of choosing good songs, like a lot of the songs they chose, I like those songs.
But done by Duran Duran, I mean.
yeah, I mean, there were a couple moments like the Crystal Ship.
Like, was Zeppelin like a really big influence on you? Maybe Buddy, who plays the guitar, but I'm guessing Simon Le Bon is not
Oh,
a big
not
Robert
at
Plant.
all.
And this is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
no, good point.
That it might not have been like a unanimous sort of,
So going
and
back,
more of like this would be cool for us.
yeah.
Everybody was Public Enemy fans. Everybody listened to Fear of the Black Planet. Like, of course not. It was one guy who was like, got to do this one or something. And they were just too ignorant, or maybe
Yeah.
like nobody spoke up
'Cause
over the
that-
Public Enemy cover.
and we-
Like, not one guy.
Yeah,
Engineers,
yeah.
producers, nobody went like, guys, do you know what that song's about?
And this goes back to the Lil Wayne episode where it's like once you're
Way back.
once you're in that bubble, once you're in that Neverland bubble, that Paisley Park
The
bubble,
Neverland bubble.
yeah, like
Duran Duran were in a bubble for sure.
right,
Yeah.
like I guess, and it's just so sad. Nobody said anything. That's amazing.
If it made it to the shelves,
Yeah.
it means nobody
Nobody
said
said this is the worst idea you guys have ever thought of.
Yeah.
911 is a joke. What are you doing
I want to take you higher again. We went off on the tangent,
again?
but YouTube. I have the final YouTube comments.
All right, let's hear them.
TQW Max 1 year ago says, "This song makes me want to fly a super fast airplane."
My temperature is rising.
No.
Deborah Pence one week ago.
Wow.
Holy shit! I just read that
Deborah.
now. 1 week ago says, slide by mile. And the final YouTube comment of this Duran Duran episode,
Yeah.
probably the last. Orlandus 2, 4 years ago says, "Thank You is one of the best albums. Duran Duran really outdid themselves with this." Were they still doing coke in 1995?
I have no idea.
Oh
I
my
don't
gosh. So that was it. That concludes.
Yay! Hands in the air, everybody. Hands in the air. Wave them from side to side.
For the record, Sammy was the only one with his hands in the air. So recommendations for Duran Duran. So I was okay, genuinely
Yes.
waiting for the record to happen where I was like, okay.
Me too, yeah.
And I was waiting for the moment to happen for me to get Duran Duran.
Yes,
like what
me
happened
too.
to me with Nas and what happened to me with Bruce Springsteen. Like I was waiting for that moment, and unfortunately it didn't happen. I didn't mind some of the things on Red Carpet Massacre. Our boy Justin Timberlake's on that record. You Kill Me With Silence from Paper Gods, I thought had a decent hook on it. Like,
the Mark Ronson records, I
Yeah.
love Mark Ronson, and I love that he was like, guys, let's do like a Rio part 2. Like
Cool.
that dude, he's smart. He knows what he's doing, like as a
Okay.
producer and stuff. But
so for me, I would say start from the beginning. I would go with Duran Duran, Rio.
Yeah.
Start from the beginning. That's where it sounds like they're hungry.
yeah. Oh, these two, like A Wolf.
No, don't even. Oh,
A Wolf.
I wasn't gonna say it. I was gonna let the audience fill the blanks.
Are we gonna? But can we discuss the A Wolf versus
Or the Wolf?
The Wolf.
I still don't know what it is.
Anyway, the Wolf doesn't make sense to me.
They were just pure and innocent and hungry and,
And
on their way up.
super hungry and ambitious. Like I
so-
love that about them.
And I think the musicianship, the songs, the energy really,
Yeah.
really reflects those earlier records.
Yeah.
So Duran Duran has an album coming out.
Okay.
They have a new album they're working on. It's coming out. Chances are you and I are not gonna be blown away by this record just
Right.
because you know during this exercise we didn't become Duran Duran fans. Fair enough. Respect,
Yeah.
obviously, but
The covers album thing.
this is what I get to. I want to ask about the covers album.
Okay,
thing,
good.
because genuinely covers album don't go well. We've done. I didn't. It didn't become like a decision to do covers albums. Spaghetti Incident was one. I don't think I really knew that this was one until I started to do my research and look at it. I was like, oh, it's another covers album.
Yeah.
Another covers album that has been reviewed very poorly. Sometimes it's gotten great reviews. Is Def Leppard put out a covers album called Yeah,
That's right.
and it's T-Rex and Blondie and the Sweet and like remember those guys like Ballroom Blitz and stuff. All those songs.
Yep.
So I wouldn't even know about some of those bands if it weren't for Leopard. So Leopard put out a covers album and it was just like, guys, come on. So I wanted to ask your opinion on the covers album thing. So I have something in my notes. So covers are tough.
Yes.
I've never been a big covers guy because it's always going to lose something in translation. You can't replicate exactly what the original writer did, what they were going through, what drugs they were on. Like there's you know,
I love that.
There's-
That's a whole other discussion.
yeah, there's so many factors to think about so I've never been a big cover guy. And having said that, so there are several covers, in my opinion, out there that I feel maybe don't necessarily better the originals, but they have like an identity of
Yes,
their own.
let's hear 'em.
So some of the ones that come to mind for
Hallelujah.
me,
Yes, okay.
I got All Along the Watchtower from Jimi Hendrix. Of
course.
Is the first one that comes to mind for me.
Perfect.
Hurt from Johnny Cash.
Perfect.
And I love Trent Reznor's version.
Yep.
But there's something about what Cash did with it.
And Trent Reznor say that too. Like there's
Trent-
no
and,
denying
And
that.
Bob Dylan famously said, well, so that's not my song anymore.
Yes. Okay.
Hendrix crushed it.
Right.
And you say hallelujah from Jeff Buckley.
All
our,
day.
Our beautiful Jeff Buckley.
Yeah.
So
So
go ahead.
it's funny that you say that bit that
I wanted to get into
classic
this.
line about Dylan because essentially Lou Reed gave Duran that same compliment. He said they made their version of Perfect Day is the perfect version.
What is Lou Reed?
He said that.
I know.
So I mean, it's that's
No, for sure.
Yeah, that's really interesting because I feel like though that's Lou Reed not being aware of his limitations, but not realizing that his limitations is what made him. Like, let's be real.
Yeah. Oh, 1,000%.
Right.
I think we made that pretty clear in the Metallica episode.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's cool for him to say that, like, oh, that's the way I heard it in my head, or the way I always wanted to hear it, but I can't do it like that. That's cool, Lou.
Sure.
Love you. But really, we love it because it's you, because it's your voice, because when you're a singer, and we've talked about this a bunch of times, the pass you get when you're a songwriter and not necessarily the greatest singer is nobody's going to create that except for you.
Yep. Yes.
It wouldn't exist if it wasn't for you. So everything that goes with it, your voice.
So covers, for or nay, yay or nay. To me, I'm like, but we've got things like All Along the Watchtower from Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, dude.
Here's the formula if you're going to do a successful cover.
Right.
I would say try to be as different as possible from the original, obviously, but as different as you can possibly be.
Which this album doesn't do.
It doesn't really do it.
It doesn't do it.
No. And so right off the bat, they're not giving themselves the best chance because, and this is being kind of, cynical, but worst case scenario, you can still push the novelty of, but it's an acoustic version of this, original that was crazy electric or something. You know what I mean? Like there's, if you make it different enough, at least there's the difference that people can maybe appreciate even if they don't love it.
Fair enough.
So
beautiful, dude. That's great.
You know what I mean?
Things like All Along like the Watchtower and the Dylan quote existed in 1995.
Yeah.
So, do you know what I mean?
But I mean, that was a fairly different version of that song.
And that's my point.
And that's what I'm saying.
So
like,
Duran needed to sit there and go, that should be our benchmark.
Even if Jimmy had botched it, worst case scenario, you can at least say, but it sounded really different. Yeah. Like, good for him. So that's one of the things.
Record, he did not botch it.
Here's the other bit of the formula is if you're going to do a covers album, please, 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 for the rest of time, can we please make a rule? The only time you get to put out an entire album of covers
is when you add a Public Enemy song. I'm sorry, was I not following your?
The only time
I was way off.
the only time you're allowed to make an entire album of covers, for me, is when you're in your prime.
Interesting.
Yeah. So a Garage Days,
interesting. Okay.
Even a Spaghetti Incident. Yeah. They're just legitimately recording songs to either show people who their influences were, to expose their favorite sort of cult bands to a broader audience, all that stuff. You can do that when you are at your prime and you can do this cool little exercise. Yeah. When you're like older, it's always going to come off as they ran out of ideas. Yeah. They ran out of ideas, and this is all they can do.
And do you think that's fair?
Because for this album,
well, for critics and everybody that
if
like
you
embraced
didn't
embrace this album, that's the review.
Yeah.
And is that fair?
I think so.
Are the bands sitting in the studio or getting ready to tour going like, that's not what this is about?
Okay, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe if you put out a covers album.
Devil's advocate again.
Right. And this is going deep into the devil's advocacy.
We're digging.
Maybe if you put out that album and then it was like the precursor to the real album that's going to come out within 6 months.
God, yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay. They were just playing around in the studio.
But they toured this as a statement.
That's what I'm saying. That's a whole different thing when you're like, we are basing the entire life and livelihood of this band for the next 3-4 years on a covers album. That just screams, we don't know what we're doing right now. And this is just going to get us by.
Okay.
That's my view on covers.
In the end, without Duran Duran, there is no Savage Garden. So that's something I've said out loud.
You know what's funny about that?
In English.
That's so funny. I had a shirt back in school that I wore, and a buddy of mine called it my Savage Garden shirt. And he used to tease me all the time that I was trying to look like I was in Savage Garden.
I love it.
That's so hilarious.
I wanted to ask you what you're currently listening to. If you need a minute to think, I've got one right off the top of my head.
Yeah.
So I wanted to take this opportunity real quick before we are out to plug a band called Big Wreck. And in particular, Ian Thornley, who's a Canadian guy. Okay, so this guy is a beast, a monster guitar player. a monster musician and songwriter.
He's
but an
one of those guys.
incredible singer.
One of the guys you just naturally hate.
You kind of
for
get
all of
pissed
the
off.
talent. Yeah.
He just has it all.
Yeah.
And their Big Rec's new album came out called Before the Sun. And I recently got to see them in Detroit, and it was ridiculous. And I wept. And it made me feel inferior as a singer, as a songwriter, as a guitar player. This guy is just one of those things. And it was in a small venue. There was like a 230 capacity. So he played in front of a very small, loyal crowd, and the guy should be an enormous star.
Yeah.
At the same time, I'm glad he's kind of small in mine, but he really should be a gazillionaire, and everybody should know who Ian Thornley is. So on the chance that there is some big audience listening to this, please check out Big Rec. Please check out Ian Thornley. They deserve the recognition. They're incredible. I can't believe that it's been this long since I've mentioned them because I've been an enormous fan forever. But Big Rec, Ian Thornley, he's got some solo records. Got 2 called just Thornley.
Yeah.
And on their second record, A Pleasure in the Greed, a guy named Miles Kennedy makes an appearance doing some harmony vocals, Alter Bridge / the Mayfield 4. So Miles is on there. So there's some connections there. But big, great rock record, great drums, great guitar playing. So yeah,
That's awesome.
Big Rec.
Good for you.
Their new record.
Good for you.
What do you got?
I like that you're using this platform as a way to bring out stuff like that, because my stuff is people who never really need it. I mean, I'm listening to.
But you mentioned who's the Egyptian guy you mentioned last time?
Abdul Halim Hafiz.
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't.
But in North America, Western culture.
Sure.
Okay.
But I mean, I love the fact that you shouted out Big Rec, because we do have some Canadian artists or whatever, our artists that just haven't blown that should.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. But if I'm being completely honest, what I've been listening to has been
Tears for Fears.
Tears for Fears. Giorgio Moroder soundtracks.
Okay.
I like he did the soundtrack for the Queen of the South, which I didn't know he was still doing stuff now. Like that, good for him, right? Like we were listening. Sarah and I were listening to the. Do you remember the movie from the 80s, from 84? It's called The Never-Ending Story. Of course. Giorgio Moroder did that.
Okay.
Did that whole soundtrack. Like the man's a genius. So that I've been listening to that.
So he's an older guy.
Oh yeah.
So you've been listening to the Never-Ending Story soundtrack?
Yes.
Okay.
And
What?
and Ennio Morricone, because we've been listening to the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
My son loves it right now, and that makes me so happy. And he always says, Baba, play the good and the bad song.
So you play him a live Metallica show so that he knows.
I totally should. You're right. I haven't done that yet. So we've been listening to a lot of Ennio Morricone and Giorgio Moroder, not to try to sound like,
You're so artsy
nah,
and smart.
I don't mean to be that guy. Don't
You're
do that.
You're a snob.
No.
We have been, check the credits.
Hey, we did Duran Duran.
We did Duran Duran.
Wow.
Holy crap.
That was good, man.
Yeah.
I was really worried as we were listening to albums, and I was like, I'm not connecting.
It almost dude, immediately.
Yeah.
So Rio and I'm just like, man, I'm not digging this.
Yeah, I know.
And then you texted me and were like, I'm not digging this band. I'm like, okay. Whew. Until the next time.
Peace.
You had no tears. I can't even.
You have recently enjoyed a Check the Credits podcast, a program I can only assume you've enjoyed on a radio receiver that would have been at your disposal. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. And I have no idea what any of that means because I'm a broadcaster guy from the 1920s. Thank you, and good night.